Hello everyone and welcome to NEET Mentor. As I had promised you in earlier video about creating a separate video for DNB where I will discuss each and everything about DNB and its comparison with MSMD. So this is the video which I was talking about. In the video I will talk about the introduction of DNB, its pros and cons, MCI criteria for institutes, different factors you should consider before choosing DNB hospital while you do the choice filling and counseling process. Comparison between DNB and MSMD. So I have done a very detailed comparison, and passing rate. Passing rate is one of the most important criteria and factor, and based on passing rate, people get scared from taking DNB course. So I will give you actual data for particular year. Bid requirement criteria. So I have done the case study, and that case study I am going to present to you, that what is it really required to have a bid requirement criteria for MCI, under MCI criteria. Okay, so before we start the video, I urge you that you subscribe to the channel, because this is a platform where so many informative videos will keep on coming on each and every topic. I put so much effort behind creating the video, and so much analysis that we need to do, and so for that you can have it as a platform where it will help you so much in the counseling process. So about DNB, so India is the only one country that offers two kinds of doctoral course for a doctor. So one is MD/MS and the second is DNB. DNB is nothing but the full form Diplomat of National Board. DNB course was introduced in 1975, so it's very old and recognized course to overcome shortage of specialist doctors and medical teachers. For teachers as well as doctors, both cover the same centralized entry examination, that is NEET PG, and same tenure of 3 years. Academic, clinical activities and research exposure, exit examination, both of them need to face. The difference here in terms of exit examination, in the host institute nothing but the institute where you are pursuing your PG education. So it's hospital or it may be a medical college. MD examination and in designated exit exam center in institutes. So I will talk in detail about the differences. When initially this course came into the picture, it was very equivalent, established the equivalent between two. Discrimination started since 2020 in October through MCI Gazette notification for DNB trainees from non-MCI recognized institute. So you can actually have a read on this article, okay, but I will explain you in the further slides. DNB pros, the positive points with DNB. So most of the candidates who score good rank, they easily go for MSMD because they easily get radio, derma, medicine, pathology, pediatrics, obsgyny, and their preferred clinical branches in top government colleges. So it becomes easy to get same stream in DNB. So it's one of the point. If you are very fond of getting radio diagnosis or dermatology or medicine, and you are not able to get government college in your rank, then you can go for DNB. You can easily get it. So that's one benefit in comparison to the fee charged by private medical colleges, which is the next option. If you don't get government college, DNB tuition fee is very less. It's very less, and it's just few thousands per year. That's second benefit. Third benefit is these corporate hospitals are well equipped with latest robotic, surgical, and all the advanced devices, so that you can get exposure to the recent medical advances. Practically speaking, the practical exposure that a DNB passed out candidate gets is better than the better than compared to MD and MS candidate. Okay, some countries have started recognize DNB from India better than MD/MS. So if you're aiming to go abroad, then it's better that you go for DNB. So these are the benefits of having with DNB. Now I will talk about the negatives. DNB cons: passing ratio and passing rate, which is both one and the same, is very low in the final external examination, requires so much of dedication and hard work. Passing ratio is low because you need to give the final examination both in MD, MS and DNB. But in case of DNB, it's not biased. Is your external examination might be happening at a very far distance. If your hospital is in New Delhi, you might need to go to Kerala also to write external examination. So it's very unbiased, and that's why it's very tough. But if you're hardworking and dedicated, then you can clear out without losing a year. Most of the complicated surgeries, when it comes to surgical branches, ophthalmology, obsceny, general surgery, so in private hospitals, for the complicated surgeries, they give it to senior consultant rather than the candidates who was doing DNB there. So you need to have real-time experience in surgical branches, especially in surgical branches. The second demerit. Third demerit: additional senior residency from MCI recognized center is required for teaching post, wasting more years if DNB not done from institution meeting MCI criteria. If you haven't done DNB from institution that meets MCI criteria, I will explain what is the MCI criteria, what are the points. It's very important to know, so that if based on your future plan, if you want to go for teaching department, then you need to accordingly choose DNB hospitals. So that's third demerit. There is overall less recognition about DNB degree among the general public. The common public is less aware about DNB and more about MD/MS. That's more popular. That's why they have a common mindset that DNB is some kind of low recognized course or degree than MD/MS, but technically both are equivalent. So that's general mindset. So if you are really hardworking and you want to go in corporate or want to establish your own private firm, then it doesn't matter much. MCI criteria. What is the MCI criteria that your hospital meets it? So there are 3 points. DNB in 500 or more bedded hospitals. The institution from where you do your DNB need to have 500 or more beds with at least 3 consultants who can guide to DNB candidates. That's second. And third one is DNB in a greater than one discipline running. So from the institution where you are doing DNB, it should be providing DNB courses in other disciplines also. Suppose you are doing DNB in pediatrics, then you should be providing DNB in some other branches also. So these are the 3 categories. Candidates who do not have DNB from institution meeting above MCI criteria require additional years of senior residency, yes sir, from MCI recognized center for teaching post. You need to do MCI SR from MCI recognized medical college or hospital in order to get eligible for teaching post or public sector examinations or other vacancies that comes from government. Next slide. Factors to choose hospital, DNB hospital. So it's very important. These are the points that you need to keep in mind when it comes to the counseling. Very, very important points. The patient footfall, patient load or patient flow. The number of patients really matters both in hospitals as well as in medical colleges. Good number of beds definitely is required, but not always. I will explain why in the case study. MCI criteria, yeah, you based on your futuristic point, you need to decide whether you want to go with institution that meets MCI criteria or you want to go without MCI criteria. The degree value will be equivalent. Hands-on opportunity, it really matters a lot in case of surgical branches. Locality where the hospital is located is in main city, then definitely the patient load and facilities will be better inside campus. Central government hospital like railway, tertiary hospitals, research institutes, corporate hospitals, PSU, these are good to have in case of DNB hospitals. So based on this, you need to keep this on top. Service bond duration, for few hospitals in few like district hospitals especially, you need to serve a service bond of few years, or there is penalty against it if you don't serve. Stipend amount, based on the stipend amount also, because in Delhi like cities, they provide so much of huge stipend, 80,000, 90,000, 1 lakh like that, but in some other cities is around 30-35 the base stipend amount. I will talk about stipend amount in detail, what is the base stipend amount and what is the minimum amount you will be getting in DNB or in MD. How good a particular hospital is for particular branch. Some hospital like Shankar Netralaya is very good for ophthalmology but not for other branches, and is specialized for ophthalmology only. So you need to see in that way as well. Feedback about the hospital, you need to get the feedback about the hospital that you're looking to get through counseling. So these are the factors. Now I will talk in very detail about the comparison between MS and MD. This video will go a little longer, but you can pause or you can watch it in two different segments. But my purpose is to give you the complete information about DNB, so you have very clear idea, because DNB and MDMS both will be an option when you start the counseling process, starting from the day one. Joining criteria, you need to write, there is no difference. You can pause the video and you can see it in very detail, but to make this video short, I will talk quickly. Joining criteria, no difference. Host institute, there is no much difference. Academic activity, same academic activity need to perform, and thesis work, that is for 1 year. It will be same for both DNB and MDMS. Thesis guide, it will more or less same. Clinical activities equivalence, it will be same for both the DNB and teach in terms of teaching skill, similar to DNB. In case of DNB, many DNB are already doing very well at par their MD colleague as medical teacher in medical. See, they have put extra it's like in some of the government openings, they don't mention DNB as eligible candidate. So in that perspective, it might be some kind of like low reputed degree when it comes to teaching, and if you want to go for teaching, then MDMS will definitely be better than DNB. But what they are saying, that there are several DNB who are providing who are as a professor or teaching faculty and very experienced and specialized on very higher post. So it doesn't matter, once you get through it, then your own skill, your own passion, your own talent comes into picture. So degree is just a paper, right? So what you know, what you learn, and what you want to do, that really matters at any point of time. Now this section is about DNB passing rate in final examination. So data is collected, one of the data from 2018-19 batch. So this percentage is keep on increasing and improving. So for anesthesia, it was 73. Anatomy, I will talk about clinical branches. Anesthesia, it was 73, and dermatology is about 74%. Family medicine is 70%. Forensic medicine is 66.7%. General medicine is less, 53.5%. General surgery is around 60%. Nuclear medicine is 52%, obs-gynae is 69%, ophthalmology is 73%, orthopedics is 53%, and pediatrics is around 66%. Then psychiatric is around 67%, radiotherapy is 52%, radio diagnosis is 72%, and emergency medicine is 67%. Totally, out of 7,011 students participated, appeared in the final examination, external examination. Out of them 4,627 got passed, and the passing rate was 66% overall. Earlier it used to be lesser, so each year it's improving, and thus the target they are setting to make it so equivalent that the candidate don't scare to choose DNB over MDMS. Diplomate of National Board DNB in broad specialty qualification and super specialty qualification when granted in a medical institute with attached hospital. If you have done DNB from a medical institution or college that has attached hospital, or in a hospital with a strength of 500 or more beds by the NBE, shall be equivalent in all respect to the corresponding postgraduate qualification, the super specialty qualification granted under this act. But in all other cases, senior SR, senior residency in a medical college for additional period of 1 year shall be required for such qualification to be equivalent for the purpose of teaching also. So it's very clear here that if you haven't done DNB from institution with 500 bed, then you have to spend 1 more year doing SR from MCI recognized medical college or hospital, and that will make your DNB degree equivalent to MDMS. See, medical education is very long education. 5 years MBBS, then 3 years post graduation, then another 2 years in super specialization. So they get frustrated, okay, and it's more frustration if you have to wait for 1 more year. That's the main pain. Otherwise 3 years, 4 years, it doesn't matter a lot. Now these are the case studies I have taken from some of the references. Bed requirement criteria is a fallacy. See why they have included number of beds as 500 to make in under MCI criteria. So 500 bed is not required. In this era of super specialty, some of the hospitals are dedicated to one particular super specialization like ophthalmology, neurosurgery. Minimum number of beds criteria, 500 bed criteria laid down by MCI for overall hospital is practically not feasible in super specialty hospital setup. If we see some MCI recognized hospital where some specialty branches are running with very few beds, but in overall beds including all the stream are 500. Hence for ophthalmology training, the overall hospital beds matters less than that of bed in ophthalmology. So the most important is the number of beds. See what they are trying to say in this current scenario when the technologies keep on getting advanced every passing day. So for ophthalmology itself, let's see one case study. Shankar Netralaya Chennai, okay, and Shankar Deva Netralaya Guwahati declared Center of Excellence by Honorable PMO Dr. Manmohan Singh few years back, okay. So these are Center of Excellence declared by PMO, and they have less than 500 beds. So there is no point of fixing the number of beds. You need to see the quality of treatment there as well. Shankar Netralaya, Bengaluru, where post MD MS doctors come for advanced training. That's right, from MCI recognized institutes. Having done MD MS from MCI recognized institutes, they come there for training, advanced training, and that hospital doesn't have 500 beds. And when it comes to MCI recognition, so that institute, hospital is not recognized because it doesn't have 500 beds. So it's not proper criteria to have 500 bed limitation. You need to see the quality and advance treatment there for particular super specialization. So that's everything covered about DNB. So if you have any kind of doubt or you want to avail our paid services, so you can see the number is given 9319128677. You can call us to the number, and paid service is very much required in case of DNB because the number of hospital would be huge and it takes around 2-3 days to do the choice filling. So choice filling is also very tough, and in what order you need to do the choice filling, you can have idea about around 50 hospitals, but you can't have idea about 500-600 hospitals, and your marks may not be always very good to get the top hospitals. But if you get mediocre marks, then still you can get a very good hospital if you're going for DNB, but you need to have the idea which one is good out of all. So in what order you need to do the choice filling. So for that purpose, we have kept the paid services. So thanks for watching, guys, and it was very lengthy video. So, and thankful that if you are still with me. So thanks for watching and have a good day.